Welcome to the podcast, Nick. It's been good getting to know you.
Likewise.
Let's tell the listeners who you are, where you come from, what you do, and why, how we met, and we'll go from there.
Well, my name is Nick. I come from Kendall, Wisconsin. Went to school in Hillsboro. Here for depression, anxiety, and yeah.
That's why you reached out to the Tinman.
Correct.
So you applied. How did you hear about us?
Through a friend.
Is it Tabitha or Sam?
Sam.
Okay, cool. And at the time, you felt that those were the two reasons you're reaching out: anxiety and depression.
Correct.
Okay. And then what happened after our meeting? How did you feel after the first meeting?
Hopeful. Got quite a bit of reassurance that there was somebody there to help me, and had a couple new options to try out to, see what was actually going to work for me.
What was there anything at when you applied and you came in for the meeting? Was there anything that surprised you, or
just the lack of judgment? That was really surprising. A lot of openness. Really appreciated that.
what about like the wellness options that were available? Were you explain how those are different from the other options you've been presented before?
I've never been presented with Reiki massage therapy before. That was something that worked out very well for me. I felt like a completely new man after trying that.
Reiki. Okay.
Yep.
God, I forgot all what was in your coin. We gave you a good one.
It did. Very much so. I did the hypnotherapy with Charlie.
Okay.
That was also something I thought was very beneficial.
Is that what you started with?
Yeah.
And then you did Reiki.
Yep.
With Krista.
I think, like the day after.
So let's talk about that just a little bit. Like, what was your hypnotherapy? What did that involve? What did you guys talk about? What was that like?
We went back and visited little Nick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just kind of worked through some traumatic things that happened as a child, and things that subconsciously I've been holding on to my whole life, and yeah.
Okay.
Trying to help out little Nick.
She walked you back to that inner child moment, and
There was a few of them.
Yeah. So you walked through a few different moments.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And for people that are listening, that might not sound like something that you want to do, but it's definitely something that you need to do. If you really want to work through trauma and stuff like that, I would highly recommend it.
Okay. Good. Thanks for saying that. Then you went to Reiki. And what was that like?
That was like just a charge of energy.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was better than any actual shiatsu massage I've ever had, better than the chiropractor. I left there just feeling renewed.
And charged. Like energized, you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Felt like just recharged, like somebody plugged me in and ready to go.
Awesome. And then breathwork? No?
Haven't got there yet. We're
Okay.
working on it.
So you were also awarded, what should we say, sacred plant medicine from the jungle.
Correct.
Yeah. And when did you go to the jungle?
That was the 20-something of September.
Okay.
Can't remember the exact day. But went to the jungle down there and really figured some things out in my brain, and that definitely makes me feel like a changed person. Like my mind has never been this clear. There's just so many different things that I feel inside of me right now. I can feel and hear my body talking to me, and for the first time in my life, I'm actually listening to it.
For example?
Drinking pop. I used to drink pop quite often, 3-4 of them a day at least. Now can't even touch the stuff. Take a sip and it's just too sweet. My body does not want anything to do with it. Used to use a Vicks inhaler every day from the time I was like 15 till now. And ever since I went to the jungle, have not used it.
So you depended on this inhaler for what?
To breathe through my nose after breaking my nose, and I have a deviated septum.
Okay.
And like, obviously you use that stuff long enough, your nose gets addicted to it. And
So if you don't use it, then what was happening?
my nose would be instantly plugged up and not be able to breathe. And I have not had such a problem since going to the jungle.
You're breathing through your nose.
Yep.
Every day without an inhaler.
Correct. This stuff's magical.
What else? You told me at breakfast that trying to think exactly what it was, but I remember thinking definitely got to say that on the podcast.
I say so many things.
We've been talking to a lot of people about it.
Just a few. Like,
Yeah, keeping it.
yeah, because like, I don't know how kosher it is to be going around saying this stuff to everybody, you know. So like, I got like a few friends that I've talked to about it and are more than interested in it, and definitely don't think I'm all kooky now or anything. So at least that's what they tell me.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember what I told you at the breakfast.
Walk us through the experience from start to finish. I mean, from like maybe even how you were feeling that day before your drive down there, what we did, what your intention was, what you saw or felt or heard. That was it. And then like just your perspective afterwards and yeah.
So, leading up to the ceremony, like, I was just really excited and anxious to go do it, not knowing what to expect, really. Even getting there, very excited, still very anxious. Then we got there, and I told Sam, I'm like, do we have to stay? Is it too late to turn around and go home? But I committed to it, and I was there for the duration of all of it. And starting off, you know, you kind of get your stuff laid out, mingle a little bit with everybody. And then you get called into the circle. And you start off with like Rappy.
Rape.
Start off with that, which is this ground up tobacco and some other stuff in there, right?
Ash and plants, yeah.
And that basically purifies or like grounds you.
That rape, Father Tobacco, is a very grounding medicine.
Correct.
You know, as all of us who've used tobacco for long periods of our life, we know that, right? It's a, but rape itself, like, can help you develop a better relationship with tobacco as opposed to tobacco having a relationship with us. And the reason that tobacco is such a unique medicine is that it is, out of all the plants, this is how Chana explained it to me, was that it is the most susceptible, or it has the most ability to accept a charge or a shared energy or an intention. It's the most easily plant that you can use with intention. It can be charged with energy, is what Chana explains, how he explains it. So Christina and Chana did a podcast last week or 2 weeks ago.
I did watch part of it.
You did?
I did.
Okay. So yeah, that's cool. So anyway, back to that. So you got some rape blown up your nose. How did that feel?
Not good. I've definitely had worse things go up my nose before. Once that wears off, you Chana's kind of singing, right? Then you go up for your drink, and I had the first drink, and I took the first timer's first drink because not knowing what to expect or how it was going to make me feel, I didn't want to go overboard right away. We get like probably half an hour into it, and other people are, you know, going through their things, and whatnot, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, well, should I be feeling something by now? Should I not? So I asked one of the angels if I should be feeling something. He's like, well, we'll get you another one. So I went up there, took another one, and then Chana came around with the Shinaga.
Oh, Sanaga. Sanaga is the eye drops. Yes.
Yeah. So he did that, and like as soon as I opened my eyes after he dropped them in there, like you want to talk about a rush of all of the feelings in your body at one time, that'll do it. And as soon as that wore off, like I was in a different place. And the first thing I remember seeing is a big black building, no windows. And like I was just thinking, well, maybe I got to get inside of there. And after that, it was kind of some flashbacks of my life here and there. I seen a feathered serpent, which I think is an Aztec god, Quetzalcoatl. And then one of the very final things like that I felt my body was trying to tell me, and Mother Aya was trying to tell me, was that I need to just let go. And that it's something that I'm still trying to think about every day and apply it to every day.
Sure. Because it can mean so many different things, or it be applied so many different. It could be applied at every moment, right?
Correct. And I feel like what I was needed to be told that is because I've carried around the death of my mom that I didn't have anything to do with, but she died when I was 2. You know, like I've carried that around my whole life. My biological father just all up and quit contact with me when I was 12. You know, there's just a lot of negativity and things that I carried around with me that I did need to just let go because I had no control over it.
Yeah, and you feel that you did, or you have, or you're working on it?
All of the above.
Yeah. So how did you feel, like, say, days or weeks or months or even years leading up to your Tinman Coin compared to how you felt the last few weeks since your ceremony in the jungle?
Leading up to it, really felt like I had no direction in life, just rolling through the motions every day, waiting to die, pretty much. Ever since then, like, I just have an undying need to want to help people and make other people feel better, and just keep growing, you know, like making myself better. Like I've never felt this good in my entire life.
You feel more joy, more energy,
Yeah.
more optimism.
It's easier to get out of bed in the morning,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, that's fucking awesome. I mean, my God.
Yeah, it really is. Like I was telling you at breakfast, you know, like this is something I've heard about a long time ago, and it's something that always interested me. And I didn't think that I'd ever have an opportunity to do something such as this. And I'm really glad that I did. And I don't know what I would have done without it, really.
And now we're talking about your next coin, because you get up to 3 of them.
Yep.
I don't know if they're all going to be that good.
Now we can hope. And all we can do is try.
But we are looking at, you're interested in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes.
And so we're going to look at lining up a partner that can maybe help you with that. And you still have one more thing left in your coin that you have to do before you get your next one.
Yeah, Christina.
I can do it too.
Oh, you can.
I know it was put in her name, but the breath work, I am certified language of breath worker.
Oh, son of a gun.
Recently, just this summer, it was a 4-month course and then a 5-day in-person capstone in Utah. And I was trained, like, the language of breath is a very different philosophy than a lot of the other ones out there, the ancient ones and other new ones. Just different ways of teaching and learning and sharing the gift of breath with through breath coaching, breath techniques, and using breath for practical purposes and points and instances in our life when we may want to use a breath technique to upregulate Or maybe we need one to downregulate.
Yeah, or to stop and think, you know.
Yeah, pause, listen. Is that there's a lot of noise in that prefrontal cortex, right? That's the thinking mind is very busy and it's loud. And so when we can shut that off through breath or through, you could really practice meditation for a long time and get there. But like breath work is sort of like it's like a natural free psychedelic that we have that we can use because it does create a temporary altered state of consciousness.
It naturally releases DMT in your brain, doesn't it?
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yes, I can't confirm nor deny, but that's what I'd heard.
I mean, whether it's that, and I don't know if that's even measurable, but it certainly does similar things to what
more than just what
consuming
people are
DMT
thinking you
does.
are just, you know, cutting oxygen off to your brain. You know,
No, it's
I could
opposite.
definitely see people saying that.
So what it is it's really cool. It's called hypoxic induced transient hypofrontality. And what that means, the word hypoxic, where your body is upcharged with oxygen. So you have more oxygen
Than what your body needs.
Yeah, kind of. Think of it like a meter that goes from 0 to 100% in your body, and that's oxygen content. It puts it to 100. So it's like your body can't absorb more oxygen than it can or than it wants to, right? There's a max that your body can take in, but the exchange of oxygen in our body with carbon dioxide is a direct 1-to-1. So as soon as our body uses oxygen, it lets off carbon dioxide, CO2. And when that CO2 is, when we exhale, we're breathing out CO2. We're blowing off CO2. We exhale through our mouth, we're breathing off even more CO2. When we breathe in through our nose, our sinuses create nitric oxide, which allows our bodies to absorb 20% more oxygen. So a technique of breathing heavy in through the nose and out through the mouth, what it does is it puts you to 100% oxygen and it blows off a whole lot of CO2. So your CO2 levels are way down here and your oxygen levels are way up here. And then you get to a breath hold and you can hold your breath for a super long time. Like way longer than you could have ever imagined you could hold your breath.
Right.
Because it takes your body so long or so much longer to use up that oxygen and exchange it with CO2 and have those levels come back to where it tells your brain, okay, now, Nick, you need to take a breath. Or because you can't hold your breath to death. You just can't. I had this discussion with one of my children last night. He's like, yeah, you can. I'm like, no, you can't. Your body will pass you out and then you'll breathe. He's like, well, yeah, if that didn't happen, I could. But it's the brain isn't recognizing a decreased oxygen when that happens. It's that subconscious part of us that forces us to breathe, or that gives us that insane breath hunger that when we're like, I couldn't do it any longer. Like that trigger is happening because it's recognizing an elevated level of CO2, not a decreased level of oxygen. Because in fact, it's when your body is giving your muscles the most oxygen it can because it knows you're not breathing. So actually you have a lot.
Right.
And so it's triggered by the elevated level of CO2. And the interesting thing about CO2 is that your tolerance to CO2, and we can measure this, we can measure it right now. It's a score, it's a measure of seconds, and there's no such thing as a good or bad score. But what the thing is that they've correlated, or they've identified there is a direct correlation between your body's ability to tolerate CO2 and your body's ability to tolerate stress. So the higher that score is, the more resilient you are to stress. So the typical, what I learned through the language of breath was that a CO2 tolerance score of 20 and below, it's good news because that's pretty low and there's a lot to improve and it's not that hard to improve it. And so like a low score is like, oh man, if I can just get from 15 to 40, because the average is between 20 and 40.
Okay.
The typical person, CO2 tolerance between 20 and 40. So a low score is good news because you have relatively easy work to do to get up to a score of, say, somewhere between 20 and 40. And the side effect is going to be, without even dealing with anything like mentally, really, without even doing any work other than breath work, you can increase your CO2 tolerance. And a side effect is that your body's going to be more resilient to stress, everyday stress.
I feel like this is a good thing.
It's awesome. Right. So it's like, instead of going to I'm not discounting any other therapy, but we can go through and we can unpack so many things, and some things we definitely need to unpack, but there's rabbit holes we can go down, especially in our present life, when we look at all the different stressors that we have, the chronic stressors, the everyday things, the things that the acute situations that come up or pop up out of nowhere, that type of stress. Like, it's sort of never ending and always evolving. We just always have problems that pop up.
Correct.
And being able to just have our bodies like roll with those punches more stronger because our CO2 tolerance is higher. The way they discovered it was, Jesse was part of this study where they hooked up all these people to breathing monitors and monitored their breath and their heart rate and their stress levels and how they were breathing. And they found that there was a direct correlation between anxiety and stress and the breath pattern. And they're like, okay, is it a chicken egg situation? What's causing what? Are they breathing like that because they're stressed out, or are they stressed out because they're breathing like that? And the answer is, it really doesn't matter. The valuable thing they found is that if you change the way you're breathing, you're changing your nervous system too. So it works back and forth both ways. But having that awareness of breath, like to be aware of, I'm in a situation now where I can tell, my body's telling me I'm feeling anxious right now. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that, but it does take practice to become aware of those situations as they're happening, to then
think,
use your breath. Okay. Yeah. And then reset. And then having that awareness over time leads to this automatic thing where you don't have to really think about it. It's more like a breath reflex.
Right.
And such stressful situation happening. Oh my God. And all of a sudden you're automatically,
what are you going to do? You're going to breathe.
Down regulating, because you need to be, you don't need to be in fight or flight mode. Where is this? The nervous system has like two main parts to it. There's the parasympathetic. I don't have a diagram handy. There's the parasympathetic side and there's the sympathetic side. And it's not to think about one as being good or bad. Kind of like these emotions here. Like, this is part of life. You're going to feel no matter what. You're going to feel the whole spectrum because we're human.
Guaranteed.
Right. And our nervous system, it has these two functions because they're both very useful. Like, the sympathetic side is, say, in times of like high athletic performance or physical activity, running, saving someone's life. You've heard of people lifting cars up.
Oh, yeah.
This adrenaline rush stuff. Like this fight or flight mode, this sympathetic nervous system side it's where our heart rate is increased. It's where our senses are heightened. It's where our pupils are dilated. It's when our body's really not caring about hormonal balance or digestion. It is like in action mode, physical. Right. It's you're running from a tiger. You're saving your life. You're in a battle. You're something. But sometimes our subconscious mind will signal to our bodies during an anxiety moment or a high stress moment to go into the SNS and to be in that fight or flight mode when you don't necessarily have to be, because you're not at a point where you need to be exerting that physical activity, that energy. You maybe don't want an elevated heart rate. You don't want an elevated rate of breath. You don't want a high blood pressure, and you want to be in a spot at that moment where you're digesting your food and you're calm and relaxed, and maybe you can very presently and calmly publicly speak or make love or get some good sleep, right? Like those times, like that parasympathetic side is where it's all these R words live: rest, reset, restore, repair, recharge. That's where digestion happens. That's where good sleep happens. That's where calm, peace, calm mind is happening. And then the other side is where is like the incubator, that stressful state is the incubator, basically a petri dish for disease. Like mental illness, physical illness, cancers, heart, all this stuff related to, you could easily see that and you don't have to even be a doctor or a scientist to know this, that most physical ailments are caused by high stress or by a nervous system that's not
100%.
working properly.
I can attest to that 100%. Like,
yeah. Well, like
all this stuff goes hand in hand with each other,
Right.
In your body, like your nervous system to your outermost being, it all goes hand in hand together. Like, you have to listen to what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing I've learned in the last 2.5, 3 weeks.
That's what you felt.
Yeah.
Mother Aya told you. I mean, the plant medicine.
Yeah, the plant medicine from the jungle. Oh, I did forget to say one thing though. I was just thinking about this as you were talking. Was like another big change has been like my eating. I've ate like once a day since then. I've eaten probably about half as much as what I eat during a normal meal. So I feel like lots of things are changing, which is good.
That is awesome. I'm proud of how committed you are to like doing this. Like you're doing all this work. You're taking the steps. You're making
nobody's gonna do it for me.
Choices and decisions, and you're sticking with it. Like it's easy to maybe fall back into old habits or whatever, but you seem to have this mindset that you don't want to go back there, and you're just going to keep one incremental, easy to handle change at a time.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I've had times before where I thought I was getting better, and like you said, you just fall right back into the same old things that you did before, same habits, same routine, and you just end right back to where you were or worse. And like, this is a complete opposite feeling of what I've ever had from any other treatment or experience or pharmaceutical drugs that they tried to give me. And I just want to keep rolling with this.
Awesome. Let's do a CO2 test.
Okay.
You got your phone? So how this works is we'll start with a couple like reset breaths. It's just in through the nose and then out through the mouth, and then we'll hold for a couple seconds, and then we'll take another inhale, deep inhale, full exhale, hold for a couple seconds. And that's when the test begins. And what I'll do is I'll say, okay, on the count of 3, start taking the deepest breath you possibly can take through your nose, fill up your lungs all the way. And then you hold it at the top, and then I'm going to say go. And then as soon as I say go, start your stopwatch. And stop the stopwatch when one of 3 things happens. Either you run out of air, or you swallow, or you have some sort of hiccup or like disruption in your, like a breaking in your pattern of your exhale. Okay. So what you're looking for, what you're aiming for is, you want a high score. So you want to make it last forever. You want to have a really long, really slow, controlled exhale. Make it last as long as you can. And then stop the timer when you run out of air or swallow or hiccup. That's it. So, all right, I don't need to run. You're going to run your own timer.
Okay.
Because it works better that way. So, all right, we'll start. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Fill up all the way, and then let it all the way out. And pause when it's all out. Take another deep inhale. Into the nose, out through the nose. Let all air out and just pause for a couple seconds. And then just come back to your normal breath. Keep your eyes closed. And you might, just open your eyes to start and stop the timer. So we're going to start right now. We're at the count of 3. You're going to take your deep inhale, and then you're going to pause at the top with your lungs full. And then when I say go, start the timer. Okay, ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale through the nose. Expand, 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 expand. Hold, and go. Swallowed. 33 on the nuts. That's pretty cool. 33 exactly.
It's probably what I get for being a smoker every day.
You're a smoker?
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning, there was a...
That was me just trying to start the exhale. I didn't know if I was supposed to start exhaling right away.
Oh, okay. So you held your breath for a while.
Like a few seconds, and I was like,
okay.
oh, hey, I need to be exhaling at the same time. Well, after I started the...
Okay. So you can test yourself at this too. Start the timer when you start to exhale.
Okay.
And then see what it is. I think that happened around 15 seconds. So your score is somewhere between 15 and 30.
Lame.
No, that's good. I mean, it's not really low and it's not really high. It's right in there.
Okay.
But that's good news.
Right.
Because here's how that class works. 0 to 20 is they recommend doing some, like, I'll say baby step type breathing exercises until someone gets to a score of 20. We really don't want to do like really intense breath works until someone is at 20. And then between 20 and 40 is average. Between 40 and 60 is very good. Between 60 and 80 is excellent. And then anything 80 and above, basically you're considered a stress handling master.
I'd like to achieve that someday.
So CO2 tolerance training is not that much fun. It's one way to do it is you can breathe like at a cadence of 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, in through the nose, out through the nose. So you do that for a little while, and then you start to still breathe at 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, but decrease how much air you're bringing in. So don't breathe in as much. So you're still breathing 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, but you're not taking in as much air. And you get to that point where you're like, you're not extremely uncomfortable, but you notice that you're hungry for air and you wish you were breathing more. And you just stay there in 5 seconds, out 5 seconds at that edge of air hunger. And if you do that for 5 minutes, like a day, that's a really good way to increase your CO2 tolerance. It's just annoying to do it.
Yeah,
because
it sounds like
doesn't feel great.
That's why we got good coaches, though.
So anyway, yeah, Christina, when she does breath works, a lot of times she does what's called a holotropic breath work, and that's like into the nose, out through the mouth, basically as fast as you can. It kind of looks like this. And
that one's really loading you up with air.
and blowing off a lot of CO2. So what happens is your body is really jacked up with that oxygen and low on the CO2. So the other part of that word, transient, means temporary, and hypofrontality means frontal cortex of your brain is shut off. So during that state, It's an altered state of consciousness because this part of our brain is temporarily shut off, and we're living in the other parts of our brain that, or we're experiencing this altered state of consciousness because that part of the brain is shut off,
Right.
and the other parts are firing, and neuroplasticity is taking place, and all these.
Think how much better the world would be if everybody got to explore the other parts of their brains.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
just saying.
Well,
Be a lot less hate going on.
you're experiencing it. So the world is better.
That is true. I want to help make the world better, though. So
Awesome.
whatever I can do to do that, let's make it happen.
All right. Garbage man at the Tinman.
Yeah. Full of services, actually. Not just garbage people.
Garbage and security.
Yeah, security, pyrotechnics, whatever you need.
Okay. All right. I've never done fireworks.
Well, you gotta. Next year's the new year.
All right. I'm game as long as I don't have to light them.
I'm in. I'm safe, too. Well,
You know any loggers?
oh, yeah.
You know, like not loggers that like just like to buy logs, but loggers that would come in and cut down like 20 or 30 recently dead ash trees and then log them up and skid them into a pile.
Huh?
Yeah, you do?
I'll hit up a couple of my buddies for you.
All right.
See how busy they are.
I'm-
Probably won't be till it gets froze now, I'm guessing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll see how the weather does.
Just because they're
here.
busy.
Oh, it's just hard when the ground's soft right now.
Oh.
Especially with all this rain now.
Okay.
See if it dries out here in the next couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure you don't want all your stuff all tore up.
Well, it might not be bad. It's just in the woods.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know why I just thought of asking you that. I thought you might know a guy.
Definitely. I know a guy for lots of stuff.
Yeah. You do custom farm work, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I
So-
have my own farm.
So you are in a busy season,
Yeah.
kind of with the harvest and
Yeah.
waiting on the weather.
Luckily, we had a couple of rain days here, and just finished up corn silage on Saturday, ready to start combining corn here in probably the next few days.
Cool.
Be another busy month and a half or so.
I'm sure.
I think boss man said on the chopper he checked the acre numbers for this year, and we did 13,000 acres
Wow.
just in like chopping hay and corn, and I got probably another 3,000-4,000 acres of corn to combine. So
Wow. Record year?
yeah, definitely.
Acreage wise?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I don't think I've ever gotten this close to 20,000 acres a year, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Awesome.
And less hours. Weird.
Well, thanks for what you do, keeping the food system alive.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm just playing a role, just a pawn in the process.
I mean, we all are, but if we all do our job and or do something to help each other, we could really make something out of this world.
Yeah, you're here. All right, thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for telling your story, and we'll get that next coin rolling.
Sounds good.
See what happens with that, and then maybe do another podcast to see how that went.
Yeah, I like the sounds of that.
All right. Thanks, Nick Jadoul.
Thank you.
All right.